Today, I wish to address you about the National Dialogue, an initiative that has been in discussion by a number of leaders in our country and many other people for some time. This initiative has been gathering great support and enthusiasm since it was proposed last year. It has been endorsed by a wide range of formations across society. Over the last few months, we've been engaged in discussions with various entities on the purpose and the form of the national dialogue.
First of all, you don't even respect us enough to talk to us and not read to us about a national dialogue that we need to have. There's no respect.
Dialogue. In the wake of these consultations, there is broad agreement that given the challenges our country is facing at the moment, we should convene the national dialogue. The idea of holding a dialogue is not a new concept in our country. In many ways, having dialogues is part of our DNA as a nation.
What are we going to say in the dialogue? Probably we're going to say that the ANC failed, and probably you're not going to agree that you have failed. You're going to blame apartheid. You're going to talk about structural racism and the white man, what the white man did and what he didn't do. You're going to talk about how you are oppressed even though you're a billionaire. You're going to talk about how we need BEE so that people like you can benefit. In fact, Citizen Consent put it very beautifully. She said, it's like you guys say, South Africans must be happy that we are rich. Majority of South Africans are poor. Over 60% of South Africans are poor. It's not nice. You guys are supposed to come with the change, make the change, but you guys are not doing it. You want to bring us into the mess. You want to talk to us as if talking has ever solved any problem. It is ridiculous, and it is amazing how much money, taxpayers' money that could have been used to do something very productive is going to go into a dialogue where only the people in his tax team and his cadres in the ANC are just gonna go there and make statements and speeches and feel good about each other and go back to do nothing. Is it not amazing, really?
At every important moment in the history of our country, we have come together as a nation to confront our challenges and forge a path into the future in dialogue with one another. Through dialogues, we were able to deal with the challenges that the apartheid system caused in our country and achieved peace and overcame violence.
So, using that particular logic, are you inferring that we need a national dialogue because of the problems that the ANC have incited into the society? Is that what you're saying? Because if you are saying that, then you're 100% correct. I agree with you on that one. That your government is as oppressive and racist as the apartheid government back in the day. You cannot tell me otherwise. Except the fact that, the apartheid government, the economy, it was going somewhere even though it didn't work for majority of black people. Unfortunately, we cannot say that about the current government we have within the ANC. Ridiculous.
We established a democracy and ended apartheid. Following the negotiations process, we used dialogue to start building a united nation where once there had only been conflict and division. We achieved all this because we came together in dialogue to discuss our difficulties, our concerns, our hopes, and our aspirations as a people. For more than 30 years, we have worked together to realize the promise.
We have not worked together. Currently, you are even denying the basic truth of the idea that BEE doesn't work, and also of the idea that the current policies as we have them are racist. You cannot even agree to that. So how are we working together as South Africans? How are we working together? Over 60% of the youth is without jobs. Bro, it's almost as if the jokes write themselves. He says, we've been working together. The youth don't have jobs. They don't work. Excuse the pun. What a shame. What a shame. I'm looking right now at a face of a man who's defeated. Not because changing the situation in South Africa is actually hard. No. But because each and everything that he thought would work is not working. And a lot of people, we've been saying really that these socialist policies will never grow our economy. And the economy will never work for majority of people. So long as we have things like tenders and BEE and cadre deployment, the economy will never grow because they create loopholes in our fiscus for corruption. That's where majority of our money is bleeding. But these people, our politicians and some academics, they don't get this. For some reason, it is good to redistribute and to force people to pay more taxes than necessary. In fact, we are making it very hard for businesses to hire some people and making it also very hard to fire people that they need to fire. It is crazy. It is ridiculous.
Of our democratic constitution. We've made great strides as a nation, expanding freedom, deepening democracy, and building a better...
Expanding freedom where? You guys are trying to take our freedom of speech. You are trying right now actively to silence us from talking about the horrible things that the ANC government have done to the South Africans. So what freedoms?
Life for millions. Yet we face persistent challenges. Poverty, unemployment, and inequality are deep wounds that prevent us from reaching our full potential as a...
No, those things are not deep wounds. They are just symptoms of a failed economic system called socialism and redistribution and Marxism. All of those things have failed. They are horrible for our country. Poverty, unemployment, and inequality, those triple threat problems, really, they are just symptoms of a horrible and a failed economic system.
The nation and as a country.
Ridiculous, man. Ramaphosa. I wish this guy finds God and he stops lying to us about so many things. This guy lies through his teeth. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to play you another clip of Ramaphosa being asked by journalists about this national dialogue, and this is what he had to say.
Yes. The national dialogue is now taking off, and we're going to have this meeting in August, and it will bring together South Africans to start talking.
Just a reaction from opposition parties saying that it is elitist and out of touch, and that political elite wants to speak to South Africans.
Oh, no. I don't think they understand, because we've got to have eminent people.
Eminent people. By eminent people, he means politicians. He means academics who stand there in front of South Africans and pretend they know better what is best for South Africans than South Africans actually know what is best. Like if you go to a township right now and you start asking random people about the problems they're facing and what they can do to change their situation, people have ideas. But people like Abu Ramaphosa and academics, decorated professors, they'll tell you that no, our biggest problem in South Africa is apartheid, is the white man, is racism. You're like, no. They're gonna tell you, no, you know what, colonization, when the white people came here, they did this to your brain and you became a victim forever. Now poor you can't do nothing, you need free things from the government. This is what they say. This is what they preach. Ridiculous. I'm telling you, man. These people are crazy.
Are going to be the inspiration The real work happens even below the steering committee, in the various working groups where our people are going to get involved. That's where the real discussions are going to happen. An eminent persons group is really to give eminence and to give stature to what we are doing. We did that with the negotiations.
What these guys do not realize is that they are not relatable to South Africans. Like he's speaking right now. South Africans don't talk like this. Like a regular somebody that goes to a 9 to 5, or maybe you are just like chilling. You're South African, you're just waking up, minding your business. We don't talk like this guy. I don't even have a clue what he's trying to say this dialogue is going to do. Because at the end of the day, we need to feel safe. We are not feeling safe. There's over 20,000 murders a year in South Africa. Ain't that ridiculous? We need to fix that. A dialogue is not going to fix that. We need heavy policing. We need to let police do their jobs, and we need to equip them. Really, these are the things we need. We don't need to talk about nothing. We need to fight unemployment, and that means attracting businesses to do business in South Africa, invest money, be able to flourish and employ South Africans. How do we do that? You remove the red tape. You remove expensive licensing in South Africa. You remove corruption. You prosecute everybody and the mama who's corrupt in this country to show that you have control of the situation in South Africa and you have law and order in South Africa. That gives investors confidence, right? It's logical. It's everybody and the mama can think about this stuff. You reduce taxes. So meaning a lot of taxes belong to the hands of South Africans. A lot of South Africans get to keep their money. So meaning that money goes a long way. If you have something, it gets to go a long way. This is not rocket science. Everybody can think about this. These guys, they don't want to do that. They're going to want to blame apartheid, blame the white man, blame everybody and the mama except themselves for why the situation in South Africa is what it is. We do not need a dialogue. We need people who are ready to do. If you don't want to do for South African people, step aside. The step aside policy must kick in. Rama must go aside.
We had an eminent judge who oversaw everything, but everything else was done by the real negotiators. So people need to understand that the National Dialogue has a number of structures. We announced the eminent persons group, eminent South Africans.
That's the elite, the people, like, you think those people know better what is the problem with South Africa than actual South Africa. Why don't you go to South Africans and ask them? Oh, I know you're not going to ask them because I saw what they did to Gwede. In fact, let me play that video. And stop with this guy that's lying.
Because of the attitude, Minister. How can you drive here with state payers' money? Everything you do here, you do it on the state payers' money, but you don't want to see the residents that want to see. On what basis do you do that?
Invited by you. You will invite
so
me.
You are doing only invite
I will come.
From your minister.
The elitist mindset, ladies and gentlemen.
If you don't get an invite, you don't serve people.
You are raising your voice now. I must.
The elitist mindset is what they have. I'm not invited here by you, so you can't tell me what to do, brother. This is the thinking of an average ANC comrade. They do not serve the people. They think if they have to meet the people have to make appointments. Nah, dog. The timings change. Timing is different now. You must listen to us now. I think you ANC guys, you don't really understand what is at stake. You don't get that, power is shifting from your hands. We saw it in the last election, 24 May 2024. We saw what happened over there. And, the conversations on the ground, people are talking, people are moving from the ANC, people are getting over you. And you guys don't get it. In fact, for some reason, I get excited when I see videos like this because it shows me that a lot of people are finally waking up. They know that this organization, it's garbage. It's not working. The people are hungry. The people are angry. The people are hungry. It's bad out there.
No, but you don't want to be here. You got out of your car to tell me I'm not talking to you. You must make a meeting. That's why you got out of your car. You are not here to listen to us.
I'm not going to listen.
But you didn't want to keep us here. You got out of your car telling us you're not talking to us.
I'm not going to listen.
But you
Crazy business. Crazy business. Ladies and gentlemen, let me show you another one. Do you remember this one?
In my house. No, man, you guys must leave. I don't want to hear anything. You must leave. You must leave. You cannot tell me that I can enter my own home.
The ANC people very arrogant, telling a man that he cannot enter his own mom's house. Ain't that amazing? Is it his house? He says it's his house.
Man, they must leave now. All of you must leave now. Tomorrow now.
And they don't want to leave. They are being told leave. They don't want to leave. You are being told leave. The man is clearly angry. If a man is angry and he clearly says, leave my house, you gotta go. Private property. This is private property.
It doesn't matter. They don't have a right.
Crazy business, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm here for it. You guys didn't tell me there was something on my channel. Ladies and gentlemen, all I can say is that the situation in South Africa is so bad that we have leaders like this who do not want to listen to the truth. People like us are called Uncle Toms. We are called apartheid apologists. Instead of being called pragmatists, people who look at reality for what it is. And we say, instead of trying to fix and be mad about the past, let us use what we have now, build for the future, and work together based on merit. Create jobs for South Africans, grow this economy, and allow businesses to flourish, and stop telling private people what to do and what not to do, what to sell and what not to sell, by putting expensive licenses in front of trading. We want to trade freely with each other as South Africans. We do not want a lot of government regulation. We want to pay less and less taxes. Ladies and gentlemen, these people do not want to go to the people where the real problems are at. They want to have a national dialogue where they're gonna, scold each other and massage each other with words and convince each other that apartheid is actually the problem. Over 30 years into our democracy, they're still gonna tell us about apartheid. Ladies and gentlemen, it's ridiculous. If you like this video, please hit the sub button, hit that like button, open those notifications, so that you are notified every time we upload a new video. We the people see the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here.